Y'all, it's Nasty Nate, and today I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on how to make money flipping bikes.
It needs more limiting. Like, subscribe, comment. That wasn't shit.
Alright y'all, so if you're watching this video and you saw the title, you know today we're going to be talking about flipping bikes and making money doing it. Right now, times are hard. People have a lot of extra money with unemployment, but people are also selling their things because they need extra money. So now, you can take both of those, you can capitalize it and make a little bit of money yourself. If you're hurting or somebody else around you is struggling, you can help them with this. So, I personally do this with motorcycles. You can take these 5 tips and apply them to absolutely anything that you like or have knowledge about, because that's important. Having knowledge about what you're buying and what you're flipping is very, very, very important. So, tip number 1, when searching for your specific bike or specific item, scroll through and check all the prices on the way down. Just because you're scrolling through and you see something that's too much for you doesn't mean that somebody else won't buy it. And when I say too much for you, I mean too much in your profit window, okay? So your profit window is what things are listed at or what you think you could buy them for versus what they're actually going to sell for. So right now, things that I've noticed for motorcycles, everything is listed really, really, really high, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing about it is that since things are listed really high, if I get the deal that I want and I end up listing my motorcycle or the bike that I have underneath the rest of those, I'm gonna sell, okay? Bad thing about it is that it's gonna be harder to get bikes. Tip number 2, check the dates. That's why I like to use Offerup, because Offerup gives you a date on when the product or when the item was listed. So if you're going through and you're checking right now and you have an item that was listed more than a year ago, you have a deal there. Why do we have a deal there? Because somebody that actually needs to sell their product that's had it listed for a very long time might be willing to take less than what they actually have it listed for. Step number 3, check for prices that have been marked down. When you're on Facebook Marketplace, it will show you if somebody has lowered their price. And if they've lowered their price, they might be willing to negotiate more than somebody that has not lowered their price. There is people out there that are selling their items that absolutely do not need to sell them, and since they don't need to sell them, they don't need the money, they're not gonna negotiate with you. But anybody that has went on and had their item for sale which is why this is step 3, because step 2, check for items that have been for sale for a long time. Also check people that have lowered their prices, because then you have 2 things you can negotiate with. You go on, you say, hey, I've noticed you had this for sale for a long time, and you don't mention the fact that they've lowered the price, but you see that they've lowered the price, they might be willing to negotiate with those 2 strikes against them. Step 4, ask questions. Find out everything that you need to know about the bike. Not only find out about the bike, but also try to find out information about why the person is selling it, okay? So find out if there's any scratches, there's any dings, there's any issues, there's issues with the title. Do they have the title? Does their mom have the title? Does their grandma have the title? Is it in their brother's name? All these things, if you're flipping it, don't necessarily matter, but they do matter in the sense of negotiation. So, you can tell the guy, hey, you don't have the title, or you don't have this, or you don't have that. Like, those are all things that you can use in your advantage in negotiating for this bike or this item. Bikes tend to be able to do, a little bit different. Like if it has a scratch in a certain area, or if the title's bad. These are all things that you can use to your advantage in your negotiation. The reason I tell you guys to ask a lot of questions is because when you think you're ready to buy this bike, you think you want to go check it out, you think you've gained enough information, you show up, there's a scratch on it. You show up, a foot peg's broken off. You show up, the clutch cable's bad. You show up, the pictures weren't showing everything. Like, this wastes your time. We want to eliminate that as much as possible. You're here, every hour that you put into doing research on this bike, or doing questions or asking questions or driving places on this bike, is profit that you're taking off the top. So find out absolutely as much information as you can about the bike before you go look at it. because like I said, you don't want any surprises when you get there because of the fact that it's gonna cost you time. Step 5, after you've gained information about the bike, if the bike is local to you, and I mean 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes is pushing it on the drive, but if it's close enough to you and you are that interested in it and you think that it's gonna be a good bike for you to make some money on or for you to just keep for yourself, show up. Go show up, go look at the bike and bring dough, bring cash, bring a stack. There's so many people out here that when I deal with these bikes, they message me, hey, would you take this? Would you take that? Would you take this? I don't reply to offers at all. I say, hey, show up. Here's where you can meet me. I usually meet people across the street from my house because I don't want people coming in front of my house. Show up here, you got cash, bring it. That's it. Because I know that a lot of people just like to talk. A lot of people like to think they're gonna buy something because they wanna talk to somebody. I don't do it. So when I'm interested in something, it's close enough to me, I show up with money, how much I'm gonna pay. And so that's another one. I just wanna stick that into tip number 5 and step number 5. Stick to your price. Do not go above what you are willing to pay for the bike, because this is what happens when you first start getting into this, and I did this multiple times. When I was first getting into flipping bikes, you get emotional and you want to negotiate, and when you negotiate, go back and forth and go back and forth, somebody has to win. And sometimes when you drive somewhere, you don't want to come back empty-handed, and that mentally will get to you more than actually sticking to your price. So what I do is, I know what I'm willing to pay. I only bring that amount of money with me because it keeps me in check and it keeps me under control. Hey, I know that you're, wanting $4,000 for this bike. Well, would you be willing to do 3? That's how much I have. I've got it right here, ready to go. Let people know that you have the cash. Pull it out of your pocket, whip it out in their face. Let them know, hey, listen, I know you probably have some other people looking at it, but I'm here right now. I'm ready to load it up. I'm ready to ride away. I've got money. Let's do it. People are more likely to flex on their price if the money is staring them in the face rather than you messaging them or calling them on the phone or sending them a text, hey, would you take this? Yeah, I'm sure they would take it, but are you sitting right in front of them? Absolutely not. So that's the thing. Get there, show up with the money, and then also so you can get comfortable with negotiating, stick to your price, okay? Stick to your price. Don't go above what you're willing to pay, because that's what's gonna happen. Anytime you're willing to flip a bike and you're buying a bike that's a little cheaper, there could be a lot of extra surprises in that bike when you bring it home, when you rip the seat up and the wiring harness is messed up, or it's got LEDs, or it's got things you have to take off of it, the clutch cable's frayed. Like, you're gonna find more things than you think that are gonna be not necessarily wrong, but you might have to put a little bit, 50, 100, 200 bucks into these things before you can put them back on Craigslist to get the optimum amount of money for them. So when I say stick to your price, is because all of those things cut into your profit margin, okay? So stick to your price when you show up and you negotiate. If it gets above what you're willing to pay, walk away. So I just wanna leave y'all today with those 5 tips on how to make money flipping bikes or flipping any item on Craigslist, Offerup, Facebook Marketplace. And in the next video, I'm gonna take you through how I got a $2,500 bike for $1,000 bucks. I'll see y'all in the next one.